I'm Tim Partridge, CEO at 3210 Studios. The reason we formed 3210 was because there was this amazing facility here that was created by ILM in the early 80s, which lent itself beautifully to creating practical effects. But more importantly, there was the pool of talent that lived in the area that had made these effects for some of the biggest blockbuster movies of all time. Sequences for the Star Wars films, for Indiana Jones, Back to the Future franchise, Transformers, and the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Many of the sequences were shot in and around this facility.
Every one of those movies and all the really major effects movies of the 80s probably had something shot in this building on that stage.
The talent that is in this area mastered their craft working on these movies for the past 20 years for ILM. And they're still available to us now, and this is the talent pool that we draw on to do movies today.
Whether it's CG or it's practical, it really comes down to the talent. And one of the things that brings people to us is that we have people that worked on all those movies in the 90s and the 80s, but what their passion and their love is filmmaking and model making and practical effects. What draws a filmmaker to a place like 3210 is a filmmaker that's looking at a toolbox that's full instead of half full. When you look at movies that were done where there's a combination of practical and CG, there's something to me, to the eye, that works better by having that combination.
You just get a more visceral sense of the reality of the shot when it's created practically.
When a filmmaker's telling his story, he's trying to immerse the audience, and I think the practical effects help with the immersion process.
The people that we brought in for The Lone Ranger, for Pacific Rim, they're all people that are extremely experienced and great artists and technicians.
In Pacific Rim, there's a shot where this fist comes flying through this wall. John Knoll, specifically from ILM, decided that that would be better done practically because of all the chaos. And then we did Lone Ranger, which was probably our biggest project to date. We actually built a 1860s trestle train bridge, and then very specifically, under extreme direction by the director, we blew up the bridge. We blew it up with a low angle, a high angle, a down track angle, and that particular shot was extremely choreographed. If you see the animatic and you see what the end product was, it's exactly the same.
Everything you get is real. There's no need for tweaking. A lot of times it's cool serendipity that happens, you know, when you start setting off the charges and, you know, things that you didn't think were going to look that cool look really cool.
I think there's something about physical work and about working with the artists that are doing the physical work that a lot of directors really like. I think what they're thinking is, how can I make a better film? And how can I tell a better story? And I think you need a complete toolbox to do that. I don't think you can just say it's all CG, it's all practical. I think everything has its place. And I think really great filmmakers that are doing some really fantastic work these days are considering everything. And that's why you'd want to come up here.